Good morning. It's Joe Parchment from the Gourmet Cave Woman. Now I'm going to show you something really different. French toast made with my tiger nut flour bread, which I've had in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, and I'm slicing it fairly thin. It's a dense bread. And I have made the traditional, sort of traditional mixture of 2 egg yolks, cinnamon, some agave, instead of sugar, agave syrup. It's low on the glycemic index, Ugandan vanilla, a little bit of salt, cinnamon. And instead of milk, I now only use Camel milk. This is one particularly from the Drome Dairy, which you can order online. And so what I'm going to do, I've mixed all of this up. I'm going to put the slices of bread and let it soak for a while, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just experimenting now. I've never done this before with the tiger nut flour bread. So I'm letting it soak a little bit, not too long because I don't want it to be too soggy. And then I am going to use ghee. And the reason I like to use ghee, it's number one, a very good quality fat, and it doesn't burn. You don't have to mix it with, olive oil, which you should never heat. You could add a little coconut oil for a little different flavor, but this morning I'm just going to use ghee. So I'm going to get back to you in a minute because I'm just letting this heat up, and then I'll put in my slice of tiger nut flour bread. And I'm really curious to see how it tastes. And of course, because I'm using, instead of regular milk, I'm using the Camel's milk, and instead of flour bread, which is full of gluten, this is completely, absolutely perfect for people who are allergic to dairy and who are allergic to gluten. And I'm sure this is going to taste out of this world. I'll be right back. So I'm back, and as you can see, it's frying in the ghee. And you just have to be careful. You don't want to burn it. So I'm going to just flip it over as soon as I can see that it's a little bit brown on the bottom. A little bit. So here we go. I'm just going to cook it a little longer. So this is just something that you can experiment with. I mean, you can even use buckwheat flour to make buckwheat bread, because buckwheat is actually a seed. And I've actually made my own buckwheat. I've sprouted it or soaked it overnight, I soaked all of this buckwheat for 48 hours. I sprouted it, if you can see the little legs. And then I made my own buckwheat flour by grinding it in a regular coffee grinder. And I'm also going to make an almond banana bread today with almond flour. So I'm on a roll here trying to experiment basically with gluten-free, dairy-free, very low sugar agave syrup instead of sugar or maple syrup, to really let people who are allergic to so many different things enjoy traditional type of treats. I'll be right back. I'm back. So here you can see I've cooked it a little bit too long, but it hasn't really burnt because with ghee, it doesn't really burn. So as you can see, it's quite nice. And then I'm just going to use some agave syrup over it, because agave is the lowest on the glycemic index of all the various sweeteners. So that's the one that I choose when I do want to use a little bit of sweetener. And I'll use a little bit to pour over my tiger nut flour bread French toast. And of course you can make some beautiful bacon to eat with it on the side. It's a great meal for brunch or Sundays. And again, here I'm soaking the rest. And because tiger nut flour is very dense, I'm soaking it a little bit longer. So bon appetit. And I hope that you got something out of this little video. And I look forward to introducing you to more of these really magical alternative recipes. Have a wonderful day, enjoy your weekend, and I drink to your health.